Jeff Horan. I'm with Bismarck Aero Center and I'm the Director of Flight Operations and also a flight instructor here. So as a pilot, you have several different route options. I attended UND Aerospace as part of the commercial aviation program, and then ended up moving over to a general studies program as I decided airlines weren't for me, so I needed to just change up my classes. Allows me to take a couple more business and finance classes. As part of being a pilot, you need, in order to fly for a profession, you need several things. You need your flight instructor ratings if you want to teach people how to fly, but you also need a commercial pilot's license and things like multi-engine ratings, instrument airplane ratings, and overall flight experience in order to get into bigger, faster, and more advanced aircraft. So it took me 4 years in order to go through from start to finish for all my flight training requirements. I did do my private pilot license, though, back here in Bismarck back in 2006, 2007, just to see if I really wanted to do it or not. So it was fun to be at home and then go up to school after that. So we do anything from flying our aircraft to different trips to different destinations, different people, to you'll find me out cleaning aircraft, washing aircraft, instructing students, working on the business side, making sure that all accounts and everything are going active, and we're promoting aviation within the community as well. So for my particular position, it ranges between 40 and 50 hours a week. Typically, you're going to find a pilot, we are obviously needing to be on our A game all the time and get plenty of rest. And so you'll see pilots varying their schedules between 20 hours a week and upwards of 40 to 50 hours. So typically I fly 2 to 3 times a week. And so you're going to find me in the office on the days that I don't fly, either working with students or working around the aircraft, getting them cleaned, ready to go, working on maintenance issues and coordinating maintenance as needed. And other days you'll see me out flying around within North Dakota, South Dakota, and beyond. Sure. So my education has done wonderful things, has really prepared me well. It's definitely set up the building blocks for me. And as you progress through as a pilot, you get those ratings and hours through your instruction and by passing your flight tests. But on top of that, you're able to get your business side. And I think that well-rounded applicant, especially being a pilot, we never know if a medical issue or maybe a physical limitation is going to take us out of the cockpit. So I think being a well-rounded individual is going to be great for you beyond, and so I'm very appreciative of that. So the story I always tell everybody is, they go, why'd you always want to become a pilot? Because I'm the first one in our family, and I always said my dad was an internal consultant for Bobcat here in Bismarck for years, and so they would fly around the country going to their suppliers, and they'd check out their different sites and do quality control. And he would always come home at the 7:30 arrival time for the Northwest DC-9. And so I'd always put my face up to that old Bismarck terminal, peer out the glass, and I was always looking at my dad landing. That's when I knew. That's a tough one for me because I'm a very social guy, and I kind of find it fun to work with people, but at the same time, as a pilot, you're still working with individuals just over a radio. And so I love the technology and having to work with the hardware and software interface, but at the same time, we have to be social people and work with people, because that's what we do, is transport people for business. So I think adaptability, knowing that your day is typically not going to be a typical work 8 to 5 day, having some flexibility, and also knowing that being a pilot as a career is more than just waking up, going and flying. It's part of your lifestyle. And so as long as you embrace and understand that, I think you're going to do very, very well. A typical day actually starts the night before on a flight, and so what we'll do is we'll check the weather, make sure all the weather is working for us and the weather trends show that we're going to be able to make that flight tomorrow, and that'll be all the night before. So we'll check our weather, do everything, get a good night's sleep, and then we'll come out in the morning, we'll verify the weather is still looking good for us and everything checks out, and then we'll move on to the aircraft. And so at that point we make a full visual and detailed inspection, go through all of our system checks, make sure everything is working in the aircraft, and then we just wait. If we do have passengers that day, we wait for the passengers to show up, and then we hop inside, and that's what our typical office looks like. So it's definitely not a desk job by any means, and so we jump inside and we take our passengers ourselves to where we need to go for whatever business may have. Then we typically will hang out for anywhere between 2 hours and 3 weeks, depending on what their schedule is. And again, we'll do system checks and check the weather for the flight home, get everything ready to go before they show up. We'll hop back in the aircraft and fly them home, and then upon completion, that's typically our day is done.